if you've been in our Pro Singer Success Collective masterclass series that we've been doing this last week, I've been dealing with a cold, but I'm on here this morning because I wanted to talk about high notes, because I've been hearing so much chatter recently in our tribe and in our little sphere, in all of our social places, whatever. I've just seen a lot of people stressing about high notes, and it just doesn't need to be stressful. It just really doesn't. So today, what we're talking about is how to conquer high notes. So I'm curious, if you're watching this live, do you avoid high notes? Are you a singer who will do anything to have to avoid singing in the high part of your range? Perhaps you're constantly lowering the key, or perhaps there's repertoire that you'd love to do, but there's a note in it that just freaks you out because it's higher than what you like or what you're used to or what you feel like you can do with your range. And I wanted to just come on here with a quick tip, a quick hack for conquering high notes that is a foundational way of thinking about them, that engages your support, your physiology, and the muscles that help you to ground your sound in a more functional way, so that high note actually becomes way easier, okay? And the tip is this. Most of you, when you think about high notes, you visualize that the high note is up here. And so you reach for it. And so you pull everything up. Or because you visualize the high note up here and it makes you feel insecure, you push towards it. And so you take all of the muscles of your lower support and you push in and up to try to push yourself up towards that note. But what happens when you do that is it actually sabotages the grounding and support that you need to actually reach that note. And instead, you end up pushing way too much air, creating way too much tension, and then you blow the note out and either you crack on it or it's flat, right? So this is a very straightforward, very simple tip for conquering high notes today. And it is this: you must think down to go up. What do I mean by that? First of all, just in your visualization of where you conceive of the note, do not visualize that the high note is up here. Visualize that the high note is down there. And in order for you to achieve the rise in pitch, the energy of your body and the direction of the energy of your support needs to flex down. And so if you've followed my content before, you understand that we talk a lot about breath support. And one of the main concepts of support is the idea of flexing the muscles of support. So that's lower abdominals, obliques, rectus abdominals, middle lower back. The idea of flexing these muscles rather than contracting them, okay? So when you're thinking of flexing, right, we want to think that we want to go down into that grounding to support the note that is rising. So sometimes I say to our singers in the intensive training program, think about a trampoline, right? If you're on a trampoline, you bounce down and that propels you up. This is the same way. The engagement of the support leans down so that you're supported as you rise in pitch. And so as you're rising in pitch, let's say you're doing it on a scale, right? Just a regular scale, like you're doing whatever, ma, right? As you're rising, you want to be gently sending the energy down, like visualizing that you're like the trunk of a tree. And you want to be visualizing, flexing and sending the energy down through your hips, your knees, your toes, and the roots of that tree all the way down to the floor as you rise. So it would feel kind of like ma, that down. Even if you have like a large jump, let's say you're going up an octave, the way I'm going to feel using my body and using my support to rise for that octave is going to feel like this. Right? And you guys notice, like, I'm sick. I have a cold right now. Like, you can hear my congestion, right? But when I use my support properly, I can rise to that higher pitch, no problem, because I'm visualizing the pitch and the energy that way so that my body supports where it needs to go. Even if I wanted to go twice as high, if I wanted to go really high into my operatic voice, that means the higher the pitch, the lower I'm going to send the energy of my support down to go up. So I'm visualizing, if you had your hands on my support, you would feel me leaning down and out in these muscles to achieve that higher pitch, okay? So it's like super, super important to get this idea of down to go up, because most of you go up to go up. And then you just end up sabotaging everything because you pull your whole body this way, which puts too much pressure on your larynx. And now you can't support that higher pitch that you really need. So I see some of you in the chat. Be Life Joy, hello. I see you saying I have a problem to go high even when I'm raising my soft palate. Well, first of all, kudos to you for getting in touch with soft palate and for thinking about soft palate, right? If you're exactly following like what I'm talking about today, about down to go up, that's probably why you feel the height in your soft palate, but you're still having a problem going up to that higher pitch because your support is not going down in the opposite direction. So even though you're soft palate and you have nice stretch and space for that high note, if everything down here in your body is going up in that direction too, then you're not going to get what you need. So down to go up, when you talk about the energy of the support, is really going to help you from just focusing on here. Because if you have been attending our masterclass series, we did a whole training the other day about opposition and about how that idea of soft palate stretch needs to be balanced and opposed by that downward action. So you guys, feel your feet. One of the things that I tell our singers all the time, like when they're talking about rising in pitch, I'll say, okay, gently feel your feet, feel the floor. If you need to, just press your toes into the floor for a second, send some energy into the floor. And as you rise in pitch, visualize the energy of your body traveling all the way down through the feet and the floor that you just felt. Is that down to go up feeling? Like I'm sitting on a chair right now, but I actually feel the energy of my lower body and my pelvic floor leaning down on the chair. That's how much I use my body that direction, okay? So like very, very fundamental thing to understand, conquering high notes, conquering the highest part of your voice, getting really comfortable and ease in that high part of your voice has everything to do with how low you feel the flex of your support. So play with that today. Those of you who have been coming to our masterclass series, today's the last day. It is our Q&A. It is Ask Me Anything. It is get support on all the things that you had questions about through the last week of the masterclass series. So make sure you don't miss that. If you're watching this and you're like, what? Arden, you've been doing a masterclass series? Yeah, we have. And so make sure that you pay attention to our group. And if you're not on our email list, definitely do that, because that's how you find out about these free series and things. But besides all that, it's just being able to take these little tools, take these little nuggets and start to employ them in your own body. All right, you guys. So enjoy the rest of your Monday. This has been your live tool for today, down to go up. And I'll be popping in here again next Monday, as I do, going live with more tools. So if you are watching live and you have a question about this, you can go ahead and pop it into the chat, just like Be Life Joy did. Otherwise, if you're watching in the replay and you have a question about this, pop it in the chat and I always come back in and I'll answer you. All right, guys. Hi, Susan. I see you talking a lot about opposition. Sean, it seems like I'm throating every time I'm holding it contracted. Yeah, because Sean, you don't want to contract, okay? Contracting is this way. We don't want to do that. We want to flex, okay? So there's a difference between flexing and contracting. So Sean, just make sure that you're flexing the muscles of support instead of contracting, because that will really make a huge difference into your ability to get these concepts. Cool. All right. You're so welcome, Be Life. Good to see you guys on here. I'm going to go blow my nose. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.